Hey everybody, welcome again to the Sunday Gun Day Show. Today we got a beautiful J.C.Higgins pump action 12 gauge shotgun. It is the Model 20, and it is a 2 3/4 chamber with full choke. So J.C.Higgins was a brand name for the Sears and Roebuck Company, which ran from 1908 to 1962. These shotguns are actually made by High Standard, who made lots of shotguns, you know, your Flight Kings, all that fun stuff. Basically, this is nearly identical to a High Standard Model 200, and this is, of course, the Model 20. So High Standard made all these shotguns for Sears / J.C.Higgins. One way to tell that on these shotguns is this number right here. The 583 stood for any shotgun that was made by High Standard. Okay, there were two main models of this kind of shotgun. First was the basic model, which is basically this, you know, as basic as it gets, full choke, regular old bead sight, nothing fancy, just very reliable. The second one came with a power pack. So the power pack model came with a power pack choke tube on the end, which came with your improved cylinder, full choke, and modified. So you could do whatever you want with it. Plus, it had a sometimes either one of these models would come with the vent ribbed sighted barrel type thing. Alrighty, so this pump shotgun here can hold up to 6 shells in total. So you get your 5 in the tube, chamber it up, slide one in the chamber, and that's that. You had 6 shots, and you could shoot that as fast as you could pump. This is the action on these shotguns. It's just it's butter. All you need to do is just slides right down, no brakes. It's a very smooth, very well made shotgun. This model here, the 583.55, after a lot of research I found this was made somewhere between 1948 and 1949. So this puts it as basically the second oldest gun I have right now, but it's still very good. When I got it, it was in pretty rough shape, you know, had a lot of pitting on the outside and some rust going on. All I did was clean it up, re-blued it, put a little bit of oil in the stock, and it's good to go. The inside is like a mirror, and it functions just so smooth. Another thing about these older shotguns, just like the Brick actually did, the Model 37, these do not have serial numbers. Once again, the laws didn't require it back then when these were made, so High Standard and Sears never ever put actual serial numbers on these, which is another reason why it's not the easiest thing to date these particular shotguns. Okay, so we're just going to give you a brief breakdown on this shotgun. It's not totally necessary to always break these down for cleaning. I mean, open it up, it's a shotgun for Pete's sake. You have a lot of room to run anything you need in that barrel, right? And this happens to be a 28-inch barrel, by the way. And you can also get lots of fun stuff. You can get your brushes in there or from the side if you need to, but we'll give you just a brief, quick strip down to take all the action out. So you are going to need some tools for this. This is not basic type shotgun that's just going to pull apart. You will need just a nice 3/16 punch and your rubber or plastic tipped hammer. You don't really need anything metal, or don't need a metal hammer for the fact that you don't really need to, it's not going to, you might damage it, but it's not really required. So first we have this pin that you need to remove. So as you can see, one end here is a little smaller and this end here is a bit bigger. So you're going to be punching from this side down. So lay your shotgun down, take your pin punch, line it up, and get that out. Almost there. One more should do it. There, just like that, it comes out. Next, what you would do is just remove the trigger group. It's pretty straightforward. Just pull up and out. That's that. Okay, so the first part you'll have to remove is this little shell extractor there. This just comes right out, easy peasy, just like that. Next, pull the bolt back a little bit till it gets about there, and then this part will come out just like that. Next thing you can do is, if you want, you can remove this piece here. So it doesn't take much. This is a fairly easy metal to work with. Just push it in a little bit like that. I'll get you. Squeeze it together and you'll see these two little bumps here which line up to two holes on the inside of the chamber. And then last, you can just pull out your bolt. That's it. You can clean all this stuff when you want. Then you have lots of room inside the shotgun to clean everything else. Now, if you really want to get down to it, you can remove the caps here, remove this here, pull the stock off here, and you can even unscrew this part of the tube here. However, unlike a lot of shotguns, this barrel is not removable. If you need to change this barrel for any reason, this will have to go to a gunsmith to have it done. This barrel's screwed in there and it's meant to stay. Okay, so that's basically it. You can clean everything you need from there, and the trigger group's fairly simple. Just get a brush in there, some oil and some cleaner, some CLP, and you're good to go. Put it back together and you're ready to rock. So that's what we'll do next. Here, keep in mind that when you do clean this, there is some divots right down in here and here. This is an area where potentially it could build up with crud and stuff like that. You know, just give those a good little touch up and you're good to go. So now we're just going to drop the bolt back in. So that gets in there. All the way down just like that. So you're gonna have to keep your slide to the back here because you got to get this part here over top of that little notch right there. So it's not too difficult. Just squeeze the two metal tabs together, go under it until you line up with the two holes at the bottom, and then that'll click in there. Get that lined up proper. There we go, just like that. So next you're going to put in this little piece right here. So this notch right here has to line up with this part right there. So you're just trying to drop that in there like that, kind of squeeze it in there, get it lined up with the bolt so it catches onto the bolt, push that forward, and then there you go, good to go. So next is this piece here. This, it's nothing, just kind of sit it in. It's got this tab right there which goes into that little hole there. Just stick that in just like that. And then you got to put your trigger grip in. So that goes in. There's these two little notches right there which go into these little notches right there. Keep in mind that little piece of metal will fall down a lot. Stick this in. Push that down. There you go. You're back together. And safety, of course, is on. Turn it off. Just make sure it fires. There you go. Good to go. So now you put your little pin back in. So once again, make sure the big end goes on the wider hole right there. So just put that in. You don't need a punch for this now. You can just tap it in. There you go. Shotgun is assembled. Once again, this is the J.C.Higgins Model 2012 gauge, a beautiful standard shotgun. One of my favorite designs ever. Reminds me a lot of the classic Doom style shotgun. Solid gun. If you can find one, pick it up. These are pretty cheap. They run between 100 and maybe 160 bucks, depending on if they're in immaculate, excellent condition. But these are robust and they'll last forever. Thanks for watching the Sunday Gun Day Show. Let's take out some bottles over here. Lock and load.